Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I'm going to show you why the smallest of decisions completely change the game. Hopefully teach you some very new things about Dota, some ideas that maybe you haven't thought about before. So let's get into it. There's going to be some ups and downs in this video. I have two major clips, maybe three, that are really positive, and then one clip that's very negative, and I want to show you what I should have done different. So hopefully you guys can avoid that in the future as well. So I'm playing Slardar in this game, and this is going to be somewhat of a Slardar tutorial, but you guys should take it more so as a initiator tutorial and a split pushing tutorial to some extent. All right, before we get into the main part of the video, I do want to let you guys know that I'm not only posting videos here on YouTube, I also frequently post videos on the website. If you don't know what I'm talking about, almost every single day I'm posting a new video to the gameleap website. We're going to teach you guys in depth about how to get to the next level. So if you want to become absolutely broken, click the link down below and sign up. The first major decision of the game comes around minute 39. So at this point in the game, what's going on is that the enemy team is going to Roche, right? They're currently taking it, and my team didn't feel comfortable contesting it based on our current position, which is probably a mistake, but let's just move on from there. So they're going to push top, and my immediate reaction is very important. Instead of immediately running to defend, I also don't have TP, I actually immediately run bottom. I know at this point in the game, I push really quickly with my current items, and my Invoker also can react and give me Alacrity as well as spawn Forge Spirits. And so what we immediately do is put counter pressure. The reason why this is important is counter pressure is very hard to deal with. There's two reasons for this. Number one, you have to coordinate TPs, and in Dota, if one person TPs, it delays the next TP. So if Bane TPs bottom here, and then Bounty Hunter TPs bottom, Bane's TP will be 3 seconds, Bounty Hunter's TP will be 4 seconds. If Razor then TPs to the same tower, it will be 5 seconds. And so coordinating TPs is really hard due to this in-game Dota mechanic that has almost always existed, right? So that's the first thing that a lot of people just don't know. And then people just in general react poorly to pressure. Pressure is very hard to deal with in Dota because it makes you make snap decisions. And snap decisions are hard to make, especially, as I said, when it comes to TPs and things that require communication. This doesn't really require communication for my team. I would have made this play alone. It could have been without Invoker. Invoker ended up almost doing nothing, but he did kind of save me. Yeah, I guess I was fine, but he probably saved me. The hex was really huge, so that was nice. Point being, look what happens, right? We get the Invoker, we get the Razor TP, Bane TPs, Bounty TPs. Should Bounty have TP'd? Probably not. Should Bane have TP'd? It's probably fine, right? But we get out. We make the good decision to go and get out. And it's important that I knew that I was just forcing reactions. I wasn't trying to fight, I was trying to force reactions. And my hero is really good at that, Slardar in particular with his bonus movement speed. Then from there I try to find the void kill, I don't, and then what I do next is really important as well. So, the enemy team, not surprisingly, currently has Aegis. We still do not want to fight them, if possible, right? They have Chrono, it's very difficult to fight into this guy. He was having a great game, he's top net worth, and my Slark wasn't having the best game. My Invoker's really farm, but you know, some of it's Midas, and also Invoker isn't the best late game hero, especially against Faceless Void and Bane and Razor. He's got some really tough matchups this game. So what do I do with this knowledge, right? That we don't exactly want to fight them. I book it back to bottom. I don't TP bottom, I sprint back bottom. I also know that this time they might not have TPs on all of their heroes, right? There's 12 seconds on a couple of them, 15, and 16 as well. So they even don't have TP. Now, of course, the downside is they're going to push our base, right? They end up killing our Batrider and killing our CM, which there's literally nothing I can do about that. Maybe I could initiate on Void, but he has Aegis. That's a fruitless effort. So instead, we go for the trade. And now this is where the panic really sets in, right? They come back, and this time, my Slarks here, they don't really expect this, and as a result, the Bane dies. He dies because of this pressure. The Slark was here, right? And now all of a sudden, the Bane buys back, we're counter trading for a Rax, and the Bane messes up. You might be like, oh, how could Bane die here? This is so stupid. It is stupid, but it's pressure. He's not in a situation he's used to. And when you can force people in these situations, they make bad decisions, and we're able to take a 1-for-1 Rax when we're in a pretty losing scenario. On top of that, this is when the game gets really good, or at least we get put in a good position. We then TP back. We killed the Bane twice. We take a Rax. They don't, because they were busy fighting our heroes that were actually creating a lot of space, so shout out to the boys. And then now, we're able to actually create a numbers advantage in our base. And so yeah, some very snappy decision making. The enemy team reacts very poorly. the Bane in particular makes some mistakes, and as a result, we kill the Void, we chase down the Razor, and we find him as well. Now from here, the game looks pretty over, but I want to talk about like where I really feel I made a mistake. I really feel like I griefed the game at this point with a terrible jump. So fight breaks out top. Naturally, I'm going to roll over. No surprise here, right? We're feeling strong. We're 15k ahead. We just wiped the enemy. We took 2 racks. The game is good. What do I do wrong? Well, at this point in the game, I have to know who I can kill and who I can't. I can't solo kill the Zeus because he has Heavenly Jump. He has a Pike, and he even potentially has Manta. He also has this neutral item, which is like really broken and makes it impossible to kill anyone. So I can't kill Zeus. I can't even kill Bounty. Kind of can kill Bane because his items suck. He has a Midas for some stupid reason, right? I can kill Bane. So maybe I can solo jump Bane. Other than that, my jumps should either be a jump and kite out, right? So close to my team, or a jump with my Invoker Hex, or just Slark in general, right? And you'll notice, I mean, I'm saying all of this with complete hindsight because Speed Dota makes the exact opposite decision of what I said I should. I make the worst decision. I jump in, I'm like, oh, a Zeus. This is a ranged hero I should get on top of. But it's stupid, right? Because he 4 staffs away, I pop my BKB, I work at the Void. I'm like, oh shit, this is really bad, right? This is not good. And I end up dying, right? I get killed, the Razor goes ham because I'm not stunning him, and look what I could have done instead. As the fight breaks out, you'll notice if I keep my camera here, this Razor actually does not have BKB, which number 1, I should be tracking. It's the most important item in Dota in the late game. It determines who you should and should not jump in many cases. And so this guy actually has no BKB. He's incredibly weak in this scenario, right? He very much dies to a whole plethora of initiation goes, right? He could die to, I mean, even if he had BKB, we have a Hex. Right, and so in this case here, to be fair, if I went on Razor, we're gonna get chronoed. So I will say there's an argument, but my Slark has Depth Shroud, and you'll notice this Razor, he would have just died to a stun. Like, totally would have died if I stunned him into a stun with Amp, right? And so it's a shame, right? I didn't jump with my Slark, and I end up going down. And this created a lot of chaos in the game, because unfortunately, my Batrider then got picked off, then my CM got picked off, and I think my Invoker got picked off. I'm pretty sure Invoker dies in a moment from here. And so the game gets like really, really weird. I think he dies bottom or something like that, right? And so the point is just my 1 death, my 1 bad jump really threw off the game. Now, at this point of the game, the main thing I'm playing off of and my next best play comes off of knowing that Void without Chrono is much weaker, right? And I can abuse this with Buyback. So I know I have Buyback with this amount of gold. And what I'm trying to do as the initiator is to force a fight where either I get chronoed or someone else gets chronoed, but I've created enough chaos where hopefully Slark, Invoker, CM, and Batrider are not dying to the chrono. I'm the main death that happens when the chrono goes off, when the team fight breaks out. And I'm gonna use Buyback with my high movement speed to connect back to the fight. And I had this in mind. I knew that I wanted to initiate. Now, I go in too early. My team, I should have let them get close. To be fair, they were slow, but I'm Slardar, so I should have waited, right? I go in, a little cringe. I'm not gonna kill this Bounty. He has like a ton of defensive items that counter me. I'm not gonna kill him, right? So I go in, not a great initiation. I should be way, way, way more patient. My Slark gets saved by Wind Waker, so shout out to Batrider on his Wind Waker, and I end up going down. However, it costed them BKB. They used Chrono after me, and thankfully Slark did not die in the Chrono because Razor was going on me, Bounty was going on me, Zeus was nuking me, not the Slark. And so there is some value there. It is important to note. And now immediately I buy back. I know that they don't have, right? They don't have those BKBs, or they use the first Razor BKB, he has 2 because he has Refresher, but they don't have Chrono. And as a result, we're able to come back into this fight. We go in, we snipe out the Bounty Hunter, we find the Zeus, and we win the fight, right? We actually end up killing 4 heroes, 2 of which did not have Buyback, and we nearly won the game right then and there because my 1 Buyback led to 4 kills, and you can always make that trade. Now, you might be saying, Speed, what if the enemy disengages when you Buyback? Yeah, that is a major concern. It's tough, right? Dota's a game of very small decisions. Maybe if the enemy team reacts perfect, when I Buyback, they all run away. My Buyback becomes bad. And I do think as Dota gets better and better and better, as people get better and better and better, or if this is a pro game, maybe this is Team Falcons versus Extreme Gaming, maybe if Team Falcons sees my Buyback and they use Chrono, they all disengage. And that would make that play bad, right? So you gotta keep it. This is why Dota's a beautiful game. But of course, it's a pub. They're going to react poorly in most situations, most odd situations they're not used to, like that one. People are not used to buyback situations. It's very weird. And we end up getting a really, really good fight here. We had a quad buyback. They ended up getting buyback on a few of the heroes that didn't have it. I think the Bane. And then Void bought back. And all of a sudden, we get our lead back. We get out. That was huge. We react properly to the buybacks, probably because they used like 4 of them. We react properly to the buyback. And then the game ends here. This just ended up being a really nice and synergized jump. And I think this is a great example of 2 major points. Number 1 is the exact opposite of what I showed you guys earlier, where I made a jump in their triangle with none of my teammates. This jump is perfectly with Slark, and it makes all the difference. On top of that, it's the use of vision and how vision is just the name of the game. It's broken in late game. Late game vision is what you should be playing around. We have this God Ward, and I'm telling my team, go in, go in, go in. Partially because Bounty is dead, partially because I think we knew that they didn't have Chrono. Oh, they have Refresher. A bit psycho. We have to be careful. They actually do have 2 BKBs and Chrono. But I definitely knew that Bounty is dead. I definitely knew that we had a ward. The rest wasn't so sure, but when you have vision, taking risks can be good. And I told my team very confidently, kill the Void, kill the Void. Void is a threat here, right? He is the threat. We knew this. We knew this guy is the issue. He jumped in. We have a ward. We're coming off his smoke. We get in. We chase him. We just go all in for him. We hit a bash right before he get time lock. Lasso comes out. And a little bit of communication goes a long way there. I say go all in the Void, all in the Void. I almost died to this guy. Whew. And the Void's all chatting. He was their high MMR player and their carry. So once he dies, it's wraps. It's wraps. Yeah, I think he's pretty high rank. He's very high rank. But okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully you learned a lot. I know this video was very advanced and potentially overwhelming, but I just like making these types of videos where you get to learn some cool, very interesting things about Dota, some cool pieces of knowledge, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.